Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Aligning with Success. Mike DiMuccio, your host for Diamond. Okay, so again, the reminder is tonight's call is aligning with success. So in order for us to align with success, we need success as a measure, as a metric, as a mark on the wall or something so we can align to it. So what I thought we would do is, because this is April, beginning of the month, and we've just gone through the first quarter, January, February, March of 2022, we measure the business in quarters and months. And I'm hoping that some of the people, well, I see Leo's just joined, so maybe he can help me out here. Leo, you're going to help me out. I'd like to acknowledge the people who have achieved team Seiko Kai, excuse me, not Seiko Kai. Hello, welcome to the call. The incentive that I'm talking about is Club KIAI. So if obviously that's a 90-day incentive, and we just gone through the first 90 days of the year. So, and this is aligning with success, and we want to line the next quarter up. So let's take stock of this last quarter. It's not going to be a long call because I just want to acknowledge those who have done Club KIAI in this quarter. I know Leo has, I have. Is there anyone else on the call? Yoko has. Okay. I know my daughter Savannah has. That was her first, so she was real thrilled to make that happen. I got to tell you that story because it's hilarious. She woke up on the last day of the month. She had 2,200 points still to go. With I had like nothing, zero, like just 2,200 points, and it's going to get done. So we talked to each other by text. I said, I think I was walking out this door the evening of our call, and I said to her, you know, I see it done. I see it getting done. She says, so do I. So, you know, it starts that way, guys. It really does. It begins with you seeing it, even if you just imagine it, because at the end of the day, everything is that. It's just imagined. Let's just see what's happening here. Okay, there we go. So, anyway, so with 2,200 points to go, and she starts the morning off. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I don't know where this is going to come from. So I'm starting to think, okay, what can I do to help? You know, how am I going to get some volume to help her? And I did do one thing. I did a retail incentive, and I said, okay, here's the incentive. And I offered an incentive for if somebody purchases a pack, what they would also be entitled to, because then that volume could be used to contribute. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't know what else I'm going to do. Anyway, she keeps coming back to me. Okay, got this one done. Okay, got that done. I'm like, wow. Oh, and then she's keeping score. This much to go, and then this much to go. And I'm thinking at some point in time, she might run out of air, and then it's going to be, you know, really squeeze time. And then she's this much to go. And then at 8 o'clock, it's done. And then it's like, wow. I mean, that is really dedication and commitment and focus. When she makes up her mind about something, she didn't even know where it was going to all come from. But I can tell you, she did sow a lot of seeds during the course of the month. She was doing what she had to do to get promotion and stuff out there. And her main source of promotion these days is really her social media. She posts things on Instagram. She follows up with people. Actually, some of the stuff she did as well was, you know, reach out to downline and say, okay, do you have family members who might want to take advantage of this Niken offer? So she used the free shipping. So she was calling in orders. She really turned over every stone. And she's not, I mean, she's the only one on the team of this Sovereign Life team that hit Club KIAI. Sophia and Elena are traveling, so they were out of pocket for the entire month in Costa Rica in a retreat, a yoga retreat. So they were not even internet connected. So That wasn't going to happen where they were concerned, but there's a lot of other members on the team. But nobody made the commitment except Savannah. And this is the point. Nobody's success is an accident. Success is never an accident. And if you talk to anybody who's had success, they'll tell you, yeah, you see the finish line. You see me crossing the finish line, but you don't know what it took for me to get onto the racetrack, to even start the race, to even commit to the race, never mind get on the track and then start running. So when you think about it from the perspective of somebody seeing somebody cross the finish line, it's easy to say, oh yeah, but nothing. There was a commitment and a process, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes. If you're going to get anywhere in this life or in this business is a microcosm of life, right? So if you're going to get anywhere, you got to make a decision, you got to make a commitment, and you got to execute. I'm getting feedback. I'm not sure where that's coming from, so I'm going to start muting. Hopefully that eliminates nope, it didn't. Someone typing on their computer.
I just completed mine in 2:05.
I think that might be Mike. Done. Okay. So what I'd like to do, first of all, again, raise your hands, those of you on the call who achieved Club KIAI this last quarter. Raise your hands. So there's Leo, myself, and Yoko. Okay, there's 3 of us. And I know there's more that did it on the team. Oh, there's Barb. Barb did it as well. So there's 4 of us on this call. What I'd like to do is open the call to you, to us 4 who did Club KIAI, because if that's not a goal in your business, then you have a hobby. If Club KIAI is not a goal, you have a hobby. Niken is a nice hobby. It's fun. It's nice to make a difference in people's lives, but it's not going to pay any major bills. So Club KIAI, I think, is something you should have as a goal, as a minimum standard as a goal, because I think it sets up the right conditions mentally, physically, emotionally to do the work that it takes to actually start generating the income that is going to pay some reasonable expenses. Yoko, you have your hand up. Yeah.
Hi there. I just really wanted to input because I've been the people that are not Club KIAI right now. I mean, I've been sitting there. Okay, you know that I've been sitting here for a long time. And what I was just going to say to all of you that I could just share from my own experience is just the fact that it really is sadly that choice. In other words, it's almost as if I had all of these, I call it level goals. In other words, all of my focus and goals were not as focused and as detailed as what Mike is saying. So in other words, if you could create something that's a minimum, like I did, in other words, you have to maybe even create steps, to be able to break down that first or second try at Club KIAI. But that is correct, and that it's got to be that choice. I mean, it's really a commitment. And I finally started doing it, and after you do it, it becomes like you got to do it.
Right. And I think that's, I don't fault anybody who sets the goal and doesn't achieve it, because I don't think that's the point. Bob Proctor taught me a long time ago, the reason we set goals is not for the sake of achieving them. It's for the person that we become in working toward achieving them. Because a goal means, and by the way, a goal that is bigger than what your norm is, means you're going to stretch, you're going to grow. You have to grow into somebody that you haven't been before to achieve a goal that you haven't achieved before. Let me say that again. You have to grow into somebody you haven't been before to achieve a goal you haven't achieved before. So it's all about growth and keeping you alive and active and focused and energized. And I think Club KIAI as a business goal, so speaking about the business, not even the personal development side of this, just the business side of this. How much money do you want to make? Do you want your business, your Niken business, to make you money? How much? Now, Club KIAI is an average of 4,000 points in volume, and that can come from you and your downline, members of your team. And it's always great if you have downline, because it makes it so that you don't have to generate it all by retail activity. But if you're not doing 4,000 points in a month, which is what a silver needs to do to qualify as a silver for leadership bonus, then you're not growing your business. And if you are a silver and you're not doing 4,000 a month, you're not earning leadership bonuses on your downline. So it seems to be a pretty benchmark in our business in terms of meeting minimum qualifications. Let me say that again, meeting minimum qualifications. You know, when I was growing up in NECAN, we did 60K club, 60,000 points. Okay. That was an achievement, but that had to happen in a single month. So we're talking about if people were setting goals for 60K clubs and people were achieving 60K clubs, and certainly they are the high achievers, what's 4,000 divided by 60,000? What percentage? It's not even 10% of that. Okay, so it's so minimal as a standard for a business. You know, if you have a job right now, if your employer isn't doing $4,000 a month in business, you're not going to have a job very long. It's not a lot of business. And the beautiful thing about network marketing is it's not about one person doing a lot. It's about a lot of people doing a little. So, but there's got to be some little, there's got to be some benchmark that you're measuring it by. And what I love about Club KIAI is that it's a combination of retail volume and wholesale volume, which means you can generate wholesale volume through your downline. It's a balance. It's a combination of recruitment, sponsoring, and helping other people sponsor, and generating retail sales. So it's really a good baseline business metric. And I can tell you right now, I would never hit Club KIAI if I didn't have it as a goal, because I wouldn't be even paying attention to that. Guys, I do millions of dollars a month in business, millions, not hundreds, not thousands, not tens of thousands, millions. So I wouldn't be paying attention to 4,000 a month, which is not very much compared to the millions, if I didn't set a goal. And so I set a goal. And part of the reason, one of the main reasons for me setting the goal, so have a why. One of the main reasons for me personally, for my personal satisfaction of setting the goal, is so that I can achieve Team Kaizen. Because I like achieving Team Kaizen. So would I ever have achieved? I was one of the guys who complained about it when it was first launched as an incentive and said, you think people are going to hit Team Kaizen? And I was reminded of my team in Latin America who do it all the time. Like, yeah, but this is North America. Yeah, well, so what? Just do it, set it, and see what happens. And now we have people hitting Team Kaizen more than ever before and faster than ever before. So what if we didn't have that as a goal? What if NECAN didn't put it on the table as an incentive? Nobody would achieve it. Nobody would set it as a goal. Nobody would even attempt it. It wouldn't be getting done. That's how important it is to make a decision and set a goal. You are the microcosm of NECAN. If NECAN doesn't do it, if I don't do it, if you don't do it, if we're not setting goals, we're not achieving. Goal achieving is something you do in business, and it's something you do in life. Why? Because otherwise it's boring. Life can get rather stale and monotonous if you just are doing this day-to-day habit, the habit you're in. But when you set a goal, you force yourself to be a little bit uncomfortable. You force yourself to be a little bit out of balance. And it's in that little bit, that little space, that you actually have some enjoyment, some excitement, a little bit of tension. But this is good tension because you're creating the tension. It's like this elastic band. I have it here to remind me. It says winning for life. So you got to stretch the elastic. Otherwise, there's no tension, and tension creates an interesting life. If it's positive stress, if you're goal setting, I don't want to be stressed by impositions on me. I would rather be stressed by expectations I put out. How do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life under impositions or under expectations? Because stress is inevitable, but you can have negative stress or you can have positive stress. You decide that. So setting goals has to be the role of a business builder. I don't care what your rank is. If you consider yourself in Nikan to build a business, you are a business builder. And a business builder must have goals, not should have goals, must have goals, or you don't qualify as a business builder. It's really simple. Either you pretend to be something you're not, or you are authentic. And the people who are making it happen on this call and other calls like this one are people who are setting goals. So again, show of hands on the call, who is, or raise your hands, who is a qualifier of Club KIAI this last quarter? How many we have on the call? So there's Barb, myself, there's Yoko, and there's Leo. Okay, so I want you guys to open up your lines. All four of you, four of us, unmute yourself. Leo, unmute yourself. And I'd like you to share your feelings about having set the goal and having achieved the goal and your motivation for doing it. Go ahead, anybody. It's an open call with us.
I'll start. I never thought incentives you needed to have incentives. If you were self-motivated, you did things. I never thought, but incentives work and they give you the goals. That's what I like about it. There's no stress about what are my goals going to be. Well, if you've got incentives, that can be your goal. So when Team Kaizen, they started that, I didn't get it the first year, maybe first couple of years, but anyway, but it was always there. And then I got a little more serious about it and thinking about it. And yeah, and then it was like, oh, well, there's no reason not to do this. And of course, Club KIAI is, my dog's jumping on me here. Club KIAI is such a fun incentive because you're making more money. You get an extra $500 bonus, but it's all leading towards all the volume you need. So it's just a natural thing. And I don't like being stressed over things. And when you've got something laid out like that, that helps you figure out how much you need in order to advance, then it's just part of it's your natural goals, if you would. So that's how I look at it. And
Can I ask you a question, Barb? Have you seen opportunities in your business since you made that a goal for yourself that you probably wouldn't have seen?
Well, I don't know. It's because of the goals. All I know is that I'm attracting what I want. And I don't know whether it's because I'm setting the goals or it's just my frame of mind. I don't know.
Well, I guess setting the goals is your frame of mind. So.
Well, but I guess what I'm trying to stress is to not set the goal, but let it go. I mean, I just think people are working so hard, worrying about how am I going to get there? What am I going to do? And it's just one of those things you decide the first of the year, and then I don't think about it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Actually, it does. It really does. Because I don't even pay attention to the number until midway, 3/4 of the way of the month, that I even bother looking to see whether or not I'm on track or not. I just don't even pay attention to it, but it is in the background. It's there as a goal. It's like, it's the thing I'm going to evaluate how I'm doing personally with respect to the numbers, the scorecard I'm keeping for myself.
That's another way of thinking too. I look at it as my, how did you just word that? It's my gauging how I'm doing.
Scorecard.
But if you do have that, like set your goals at the beginning of the month, beginning of the year, whatever it is you do, and just forget them. I think it's not forgetting them mean you don't want to do them. It's just like focus on just doing the activities. And so that's kind of my mantra is, yeah, I want to reach it, but I also want to set the example as well as help my team do the same thing. So it's just kind of a natural way I look at it.
Okay, great. Awesome. Leo.
Oh, yeah. No, it's me.
same question. So, you know, what is your motivation for doing it? How does it feel when you complete it? Yeah, I don't know if there was a third component to that question. It'll come to me.
First of all, I like trip with Niken, pay by Niken first. I want to go to Japan, and I can motivate my group to do Club KIAI if I don't do myself first.
Very good
And-
point.
And first is on this one, the last 3 months is my biggest one because I finished with over 7,000 PPV, 7,000 point PPV, and 27,000 point for PVPGP. I do 2 Club KIAI in the same.
Awesome. Wow.
But what I'm proud is that 1% of my group, Mary Claude, she did it too. And I broke 2 new silver. That's why if I take the decision to do the Club KIAI, if I don't take the decision, I stay, I just lazy by.
Yeah.
I don't have nobody do it. Me, I take my decision to do a Club KIAI because I want to go to Japan, Team Tai Chi. And I bring Mary Claude. I don't know Mary Claude on 1st January, and she's coming my group. Sonia's coming my group, and I have 27,000 points. I have more half for the Club Tai Chi, Club Kaizen on 3 months.
So Leo, did you say you have 27,000 in PGV?
Wait, yeah, over.
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought my 10,000 was good.
So, I mean, that's like 27,000 PGV. That's towards the 50,000 PGV you need for
Right.
Team Kaizen. So that's more than half the volume you need for Team Kaizen in the first quarter.
He's
Yeah.
almost done.
You see?
Okay, so there it is. There's this scorecard. No, keep it up again. Show it again. Wait, I want you to see, I want to put this on, how do I do this? Whatever, just, okay. So we see Japan 2022. We see your scorecard, your volume, your PGV, your PPV. So you're tracking your vol. It's just a straight up, you know, line piece of paper you can get at any notepad. That's his report card, but it's written.
Right, when we hit on speaker, if he hits speaker, then we can see him.
That's all right. You can see him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see. Okay, so there you go. So Leo,
Yeah,
so your motivation is because you like to go on the trips.
yes.
You obviously want to impress upon your downline to do what you're doing rather than what you know, otherwise, what are they going to follow? So what does it cause you to do that you would not normally do? If you didn't set this goal.
I know tries to be action. I am always in action because each quarter, it's my 11th Club KIAI. It's my 11 in the last 3 years, not bad. And I know choice, I'm too excited. I like to have a 500 point free. I do my order today. I prepare my order.
I did mine too today.
Today. I prepare my orders already on the paper somewhere, though I'm ready. But it's me at Club KIAI. And so it's easy. For me, it's easy. And
Well, after you've done 11 of them, you kind of have the habit of it now.
yeah,
And so it's now it's muscle memory to you now. Now it's just autopilot.
and my trainee, I'm the leader of my team, and look at me. I say, guys, I do that. The last year, 10 of my people do the Club KIAI. That's so I'm proud of it. 10 of my, not just me. And me, I do 4 times. Lynn Saint-Martin twice, and she won Team Kaizen with that. That's what I said to my team. I said, did you want to come to Japan? Every rate of my group, I made go Japan, go. Go Japan, go. Focus Royal Diamond. My team or my group, you see my flyers, nice. Eh?
Mhm.
Go Japan, go. Every day I said, you want to go to Japan? I said, yes. You have to do 2 or 3 Club KIAI, no choice. Oh, it's okay. What I have to do, that's what Marie-Claude said. I said, I want to go to Japan. What I have to do? Club KIAI, what's that?
Mm.
Show you how.
Okay. We'll get into some strategies about that in a minute, but
Yeah.
okay. So thank you, Leo. Yoko, you're up. Show me what you're,
It's cherry blossoms in
Ah.
spring in Japan. Okay, so I've got this big thing. You know how old this sucker is? This sucker is the first trip to Japan I missed. Okay, about Barb. So I said to myself, oh, it's got to come again. So, but anyway, I'm a customer based business, and so therefore I looked at my company and I said, I have volume. It's crazy. All I got to do is work more. And like now you were listening to you, and now Leo, you're my inspiration, you know, to get more teams and to create this, I call it, activity that you are wonderfully doing. And I just have a couple of new people that I'm grooming, but the whole point I'm saying is it's just always like Leo, I like to lead by example. So my motivation has always been to continually grow, as you stated, however, to be able to extend myself, and I wasn't ever sure where or how. And so it all ended up like you're saying, it's the focus for me on team building because I had a certain volume to continue to expand. And so now what I'm now focused on, Leo, is building team and building the team person down and helping them move down. So
Yoko, how do you feel about having achieved the Club KIAI this quarter?
I was, because I come from a business background, Mike, I've always been a quarter person, okay? It's results in quarters, okay? So that's how I've been groomed for 40 years. So and I always had to lead by example because that's where I was in management. And so it was, what I love about this business is the mentoring. In other words, bringing on the new people, whether they're even customers, because you mentor them in their own wellness or their own well-being or their family. So it's always been having what I consider are wonderful results from others that verify and validate what we do. So it is like you say, Leo, it's leading by example, because then people see what you can do, then of course they can do. So
Yoko, how has it changed your behavior, setting this as a goal?
Like Barb says, I think it's much more of, since I've done it a couple times, it wasn't so much like a pressure, but it's like, oh, I could do it, or I can get close to doing it. So it becomes, like you're saying, a much more clearer focus goal. And then it makes me then realize that what I have to do in each day or each month or whatever, or for me, like it's the end of each month, and that follows into a quarter.
Right, because each month is counted, right? So, you know, there's a minimum of 2,000 points that have to happen in the month.
Each month.
So each month. So you have that minimum, but then you also have to hit your 12,000. So it creates, in my opinion, it creates a pattern of behavior that I would otherwise not pay attention to. And it's, remember, the business we're in is a business of replicating or aligning with success and duplicating it. Right. So what else is there to duplicate that's going to set the right standard, the right activity for you to grow your business? And I'm assuming if you're here to grow a business, sky's the limit. You're not limiting your business. Mm-hmm. Royal Diamond ought to be your goal, your long-term goal ought to be Royal Diamond, because that's a business worth having. And in order for you to achieve that business, you need to replicate. So you've got to have some standard by which you're keeping yourself accountable in order for you to say, oh, I have a franchise that I now know I can teach other people to have and multiply. So what's your franchise model? I know Leo teaches 500 PPV, 500 every month, and Club KIAI. That combination is a winning combination because, as you see, he is the leader of the pack in certainly in Canada and probably all of North America. Yes. Certainly with in terms of consistency. So he sets a baseline, a minimum standard, and what he's replicating in his team, what he's duplicating is that standard. They're all trying to reach that standard or modify their behavior so that they're achieving the same thing. And when you start to multiply that, add that up, that starts to grow your business into a business that's profitable and duplicatable. So there's got to be a minimum standard you set for yourself. I can't force anybody to do anything, but I can set a standard for myself and make that the thing that people are inspired to do, because then I can teach from that place. I can teach that standard. I can say, this is what I do. This is why I do it. Nikan has helped us, because if there wasn't this incentive, think about it. What would be the standard? What would anybody of us be talking about right now? One of us would have had to have come up with some standard, and nobody's going to agree on it because it's, oh, that's Mike's standard. Oh, that's Madeline's standard. Oh, that's Barb's standard. Like, there's no standard because it's whatever we decide. And there's therefore no standard that we can all agree on and collaborate on to figure out how to make that standard for everybody. So Nikan has to step in and say, well, we'll incentivize a standard. Now you all have something you can agree on, and you can figure out how to make it work for everybody. And we'll listen to the people who are achieving it, and we'll get the best of the best, and we'll keep tweaking us, and we'll do that, and we'll be moving ourselves to that standard, because now we have such a thing. So I can't emphasize how important it is to set the goal that we're starting a new quarter. For some of you, you could be achieving Club KIAI, by the way. One of the things that I had asked for, and this is because I recognized what we needed was a rolling incentive. It couldn't be just, it starts on January and every quarter it has to be that. And if you miss the first 3 months, you start on March or April. It had to be rolling 3 months, because somebody could start the business this month. They should have these first 3 months of their business, right? So we've got this rolling 3 months, which means a lot of you could use your volumes from February, March, April, if you didn't do it in January, February, March. So, but are you going to do it? If you don't set the goal, are you going to keep track of anything? How's your behavior going to be modified if you have no challenge, if you haven't created a challenge for yourself? So goal setting has to be part of your business setting, business building standards. So any tips from you guys? Barb? Yeah, you got your.
I just want to reemphasize what you said. I think it was so brilliant when Nikan came out with these incentives, because it's a simplistic way of setting your goals. And then it does give you some measurement. The other thing is, remember, and the rolling 3 months is good. Like I just reminded my new person from February, you have to have a minimum of 2,000 in each of those rolling 3 months. So if you haven't done that, you can't count that month. So, but I think the whole idea of having that as a simple incentive, like you said, I probably wouldn't have reached for any of that if it wasn't out there. And it wasn't, and that's not because I'm not motivated, but it gave me more of a definitive thing to work on and then teach others the same. So yeah, like I said, I didn't think I needed incentives to do, but I liked them.
Any strategies? Yoko, Leo, Barb?
Mine was just to have fun. I mean, and to be with the people that are doing maybe differently than myself and learn from them. In other words, like we're saying, it's you continually learn and grow. And so it gives me an opportunity to, I call it, these are the best business trips I've ever had with the people. Mm-hmm. Because there's such a nice interchange in energy and activity. And we don't get that opportunity very often,
Our strategies, it's just being persistent, consistent. Do what you're doing consistently and persistently. Now, Leo's done the most phenomenal job of anybody in the whole company with, not only has he done it, he's got 6 other people in his downline doing it. So that's really what you want. And we all want that. You just got to do it. find the right people. And Leo, you're doing it. I love it.
You know, there's this saying, context creates meaning. How important would these calls be to you, and any learning opportunity be to you, if you were really committed to achieving the goal? How would you be taking notes? Would you be on these calls? Would you listen differently? And I'll give you an example. Let's say we came to this call tonight and I said, we're going to learn tonight how to clean a shotgun. And you're thinking, what the heck do I need to learn how to clean a shotgun for? Oh my God. And so I start walking you, okay, everybody got your shotgun. Okay, this is what we're doing. And we start going through the exercise of cleaning the shotgun, these parts and that part and this and that and whatever. And if we were in a classroom, I doubt I could keep control of the classroom. There'd be all kinds of conversations going on, people cracking jokes and whatever. You know how people are when they get together and they're bored, right? That's one example. Let me give you the same example, however, with a little bit of context. We walk into the classroom, I have a serious look on my face, and I say, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to learn how to clean a shotgun. We have it on good word from our security or surveillance people that we are about to be invaded, and this is going to be your first line of defense. Now, with that understanding, with that picture in mind, how important is it going to be to you to listen to the instructions of how to clean that shotgun? You're going to be paying attention. You're going to be asking the person, did I do it right? What did he say? What did he say again? That's how you would take the same information in a completely different light, because you have this thing up here that you're measuring it against. I need to know because such and such. So that's what the goal is. The goal is the context. It creates the, I need to know because I'm after this. I need to know how to do what they're doing because I want that to happen. It changes how you hear information. Madeline, you have your hand up.
Just want to share what in my switch in strategy, I decided, mainly this shoulder injury and all the therapy around it, to take a pause, to use the time to learn the digital media, to reevaluate and to do some of the writing and the other things, more church activity, and away from all the Zooms. I've been listening when I'm double tasking and doing something else, and not always just being on it. And so, but then being Barb's accountability partner, we're comparing where we are on PGV and PV and so forth. And my style, I wanted to be more like Barb. And I just in listening, I have to be Madeline. And so what we've been doing recently is my method. I'm back out. I have good prospects in line, and I wasn't paying as much attention. So as I didn't make Club KIAI, but now in this, like you said, this rolling month, I should this month have it done in the 3 months, but I got all the way to that Team Tai Chi. And so this week with the kickoff call, not seeing my name up there when it has been every single time since before, that competitive component in me. But what my goal was the people in the pipeline that were in that MPV award, the legacy I want to leave is the legacy of new people and the younger people and building it for them. The Team Kaizen for me wasn't as important as with the new ones that said they were committed. And so that is where I was working more, along with always, there isn't anywhere that I don't go that I'm not promoting and having those sales that's helping there. But that isn't, I'm sorting, for the business builder that
Madeline, your point.
Yes, my point is that with the pause of not having that specific measurable weekly looking at it, it did make a difference. And so it was a decision that I made, and just giving myself a break and to really relook at where I am and what I want. So that decision, and Leo saying that decision, that's really the difference. And then tips, you asked about tips, having an accountability partner. We've talked about that before, how important that is, and the leveraging of the ABCs and so forth. Yoko and I have met. And so, it's not that it has not been productive time But that measurement criteria of looking at that PGV every month and what is it that I'm doing, you know, if I'm going to be working. And so the new ones that say they were so committed, it just didn't happen when I was ready to be doing whatever they wanted to achieve for the trip to Japan. They obviously didn't want that as much as I wanted it for them. So that's that other,
So that's again,
Wait,
going
it's
back to
important. Yes.
what is an irrevocable committed decision? I love that
Yes.
word, irrevocable committed decision. We
Yep.
seem to have to insert that these days because people
Yep.
forgot what the meaning of committed decision means.
Yes. And who you're really basing your evaluation on is your own productivity. And it really is an independent business ownership business.
Well,
You
that's
know,
it.
the herding cats or whatever, it's basically what we're doing. They're either going to
And-
follow what you're doing or they're
Madeline,
not.
time out. That's the
Yeah.
point. The point is, if you don't hold yourself accountable to a standard, even if it's Club KIAI is the standard, then you really don't have a business. You don't have anything that you can offer others. You don't demonstrate something that others can follow. Now you might say, well, and you may be new enough that you don't have others. How do you expect to attract those others if you are not setting the standard? The law of attraction is at work 24/7. It is following you. It's mirroring you. So if you're not setting a standard upon which others can build a business, you're not going to attract people to build a business. It's really simple. You have to be the standard bearer and hold yourself accountable to some standard. Yoko, and then we'll go to Leo and we'll wrap up. You're muted.
I wanted to follow up on that one point of context, and that's really the key that I think will help other people, because I just heard you differently one day, right? I just heard you and I just heard Leo say something different, and it just, that listening and this being a member here and never stopping, and like you're saying, having or growing that goal, you know, making it bigger and being more committed to it, has gotten me to this point where now everything is, the focus is much clearer because I'm able to do it. And I one step at a time, one success at a time. So all I could say is, yeah, keep on listening because you'll hear it differently. Don't give up.
Especially if you set the goal, you'll hear it differently. Because all the information now is feeding into that objective. Unless you have a goal, this call is entertainment. Unless you have a goal, this call is entertainment for you. Seriously. Because if you're not applying it in any way that's measurable, it's entertainment. And that's not a business. Sorry to be so cruel and harsh, but that's the reality. Somebody needs to be honest with you if you're not honest with yourself. Leo, you're up.
Yes, you know, when you take a decision, some things, universe is, he work with you. And last Monday, I received a call from somebody I know. I don't know this woman is a referral. You know what I mean? From my whole customer, my older customer, she had 83 years old, and she referred me this woman for Nikken product, something. I just made a call with her last Monday, and I have a good feeling with her. She's so funny. She's broke because with the COVID, she lost 90% of her business. She's very broke, but she's hungry. And I have a good feeling. I said, "You broke?" I said, "Oh, yes, I'm broke. My emails is free. I send you 4 emails. Read it." I read it. She read it. I invite her to my Zoom call and testimonial last Monday. She's so excited. She read me after. I said, "What is that? That's what I want." Tuesday, she signed up for $20. And yesterday I do a meeting for 5 guests. And she's so, wow. 5 guests and 5 new customers for her. I think she got over 500 points just yesterday. And when I talked with her this morning, I said, "What are you going to do with that? You need somebody?" I said, "Yes, we take a commitment to do a silver this month." I said, "How?" She said, "Forget the how, it's my job. Why you want to do silver? Me, I work for you how, but why you want to do it?" I said, "I need money, I'm broke." I said, "I know that. you know. And then I met her yesterday for the first time. I don't know. She's very universe.
The universe does abhor a vacuum, meaning it needs to find a vessel through which it can create. And
Yeah.
if you are that vessel because you've declared yourself, you know, that's the beautiful thing about the world we live in. No, nobody's coming to the rescue. You have to ask. Don't wait to be saved. If you're not in the game, you're going to be overlooked. There's no, you know, it doesn't, the laws are really simple in this universe. Cause effect, law of attraction, so as you sow, so shall as you sow, so as you reap. I mean, these laws are just, they don't change. So either work with them and make them work for you, or be entertained. Lynn, thanks, Leo.
I just want to say, I just heard something from Leo, which I forgot, the universe, because my struggles is I'm not on social media. Where are these people going to come? I have a call tomorrow with my extended niece, and I'm saying, okay, how do I know where is it going to go? But I just heard something that I forgot about, and it gives you a different comfort zone to be able to do what you need to do. And for me, that's why I'm on these calls, because you forget.
And by
And
the way, Lynn, there's no reason why you shouldn't be on social media. It's a decision.
Yes, Mike, it's what I'm evaluating. Where is my abilities best used? And I'm more comfortable talking to somebody in person, via email, via text. I don't think I can afford the luxury or spending the time to focus on social media, because I have not been on social media for like people posting everything and anything. So
Okay, well, let me give you a different perspective on that. Comfort is a repeat of your current reality. So you're doomed to your existing reality if you stay inside your comfort zone. If you step out of your comfort zone, that's when you will experience what's outside of the comfort zone, which is expansion. So if you're looking to get into a space or a place or an experience that you haven't had, it's going to be only because you've moved past your comfort zone and moved into the uncomfortable. Then the social media thing doesn't have to be a replacement to what you do. It could be an addition to what you do. So you are expanding your way of being in this world, of communicating. Doesn't have to be something you spend a great deal of time to. It might be just something you give 10, 15 minutes of your time to every day, but it's 10, 15 minutes every day to learn something, to be able to post something. And then what you will experience is you're going to be connecting. The first thing you do on social media is connect. So you're going to start connecting with people and people and people and people and people. All of a sudden you're going to have, oh my God, I got all these people I know that I didn't know I know. So you start now, hey, I'm just new on social media. I'm just new on Facebook. I'm just new on Instagram. Just wanted to say hi. And all of a sudden now you have connections. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing.
okay, I see what you're saying.
It can be baby steps. And I tell people this all the time. If you can speak English, ask Google the question, and there's going to be a response. Any question you have. How do I post on Facebook? How do I post on Facebook? And there's going to be answers. Pick one. There's YouTube, same thing. How do I, believe me, guys, if you're doing anything on the computer of any kind, you're going to run into problems. You're going to run into things I don't know how to do. And then you just, okay, what do I do now? Ask the question and see what comes back. It's amazing. People write about everything. You know, I learned yesterday how long I can keep walnuts. 12 months. Turns out you can keep walnuts 12 months. I didn't know that. I've got these walnuts sitting on my counter wondering, what am I supposed to do with these things? I don't eat them every day. How long do they last? How long do walnuts last? 12 months. If you can ask the question, you're going to get the answer. So think about that. There's no reason why we can't learn to be learners. And it's in that expansion that we experience growth, personal satisfaction, fulfillment, and new opportunities. Leo, you still have your hand up? Are you done, or do you want one more point? You're done? All right. That's our call for tonight, guys. Thanks for the input. Again, we have to set goals if we're in business. If we're not doing that, we're not really in business. We're in hobbies. And so you're on this call called Aligning with Success. To align with success, I presume success doesn't mean a hobby. It means success. Everybody's interpretation of that may be different, but mine is simple. You are moving towards something worthy of you. Every day you're moving toward that worthy ideal is a success. And so you've got to establish what that looks like for you. Set some goals. That helps you point the boat in the right direction, and you can start moving toward that. So Club KIAI, that's the goal. Colombe, you have a question or a comment? I want to wrap up. Go ahead.
A question. I was looking this week for the, I think you call that in English, the prospecting tools, you know, with you can have a business card or other kind of things like that. I didn't find anymore on your
That's
on
correct.
your website.
Right now, we have a bit of a crisis with that particular supplier. They are not supplying. So I'm trying to work out an arrangement whereby they will be able to at least provide us something, but the pricing will be very different because there's a pricing issue with paper. So they're in crisis as a printing company. That's put us in crisis. So we're trying to resolve that and come up with something that works for us.
Okay.
So anyways, yeah, that's it for tonight. I hope you've set a goal. If you haven't, take the next 24 hours to do it. Write it down, put it in writing. If you're not measuring it, it doesn't matter. And if it doesn't matter, what's the point? So let's put something on paper that matters, right? Have a good night, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Thank you, Mike.